suit on that has a breastplate, and the women who are so built up in their costumes, yet so absolutely beautiful, star-like made. You start to live in a world that's different than what you ever imagined. And they have, and Anthony, a star who is just, I absolutely adore and is a wonderful human being, and plays such a nefarious character. At any moment, he's like one of those guys that, when I'm on set with someone who's playing a character who may be able to kill me at any moment by lasering me with his eyes, I never let him out of my sight, ever, because there's always that threat that he could do something to me, just as the threat that many people feel for me when I play Gustavo Fring. So, 2 shows that I have a great time on the set with people who are fun and don't take themselves too seriously, The Boys and Breaking Bad.
Who do you think is the most evil, truly evil of them? Or would you say is the most evil?
It's another very interesting question. And it's a difficult question for me to answer because I believe, and I think the success of the villains that I have played are because I inherently have thought that the anti-hero, the villain, is simply the fallen hero. That fallen hero is someone who feels that they're unseen, that they aren't given credit for what they are, that they have to take a different route because no one is listening to them, that their ego is too big and insurmountable for them to get beyond, that they use force to get what they want.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, which ones are evil? None are inherently evil, but then they take a road that guides them and leads them to being evil. And so, you haven't seen season 3 of Star Wars yet, of Mandalorian. But even without seeing it, I have to say that hubris, the great word, that we start to feel a little powerful and we want more. People start to listen and bow down to us and we want more. And then we start to want more and more until we start to have a power and control that becomes out of our control. So if anyone is connected more to evil, I think it's Moff Gideon than anyone.
Excellent.
Background of a military family and was offered the opportunity to lead the country and maybe be El Presidente. Which was a possibility, but instead he chose to take his own route and make his own fortune somewhere else in America. And so that lives for me and was always very fruitful in my way of thinking about Gus and how he deals with the delegating power and how he thinks ahead of everyone else. It's much like the master warlord general on the battlefield. And so that really played into how I developed things, but that was my idea that I came up with to extend the already great writing. I was on an airplane going to the restroom, and a woman looked over her shoulder and saw me behind her, and she stopped and hit the wall. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. I actually thought she was having a seizure and was about to run to get the flight attendant. And then she turned and looked again, and I saw her frightened eyes, and she said, you can go, Gus.